Hi, thanks for joining me again. It is Friday the 13th, October 13th. I'm making a quick video because I won't be able to make any videos at all next week. So I'm trying to get a few things done this afternoon before my daughter comes home and I have to stop playing and become a mom again. So huge to-do list. This is just one thing that I'm trying to check off. I have a very quick small haul to show from Consumer Crafts. I picked up these double-sided tapes. I believe they're from American Crafts. This is a product that I've not used before. I'm still on the quest for the perfect tape. So I grabbed these while it was free shipping weekend last weekend. I grabbed 3 of these. I believe I was required to order 3 of them for the minimum order, so I will give them a try. Looking forward to that. And the only other thing that I ordered was the last Spectrum Noir storage bag that I needed. And I wanted to very quickly show how I get the Spectrum Noir bags, Spectrum Noir markers into the bag. Now this bag, I believe, was made to technically store the older style of marker that was a bit more rounded, so I'm not able to fit the full 36 in each bag, so I do a little bit less. So this is the last bag that I need to get all of my markers in these great storage bags, and I love these because they slide right into the cabinet and I can pull them right out. And if you remember my my video where I talked about my Spectrum Noir storage before, I will get my label maker out and get this one all labeled with the colors and things. So it would go like this right in my cabinet. If I need a brown or a gray, I'd pull that bag out. So far it's working out really well for me. I don't have a lot of storage space, so I'm doing what I can. If I'm doing exclusively a coloring project where I have a nice big stack of things that I plan to color, excuse me, I'll pull all the bags out and I'll set them all up on my desk in nice rainbow order. So this is the very last group of things that need to get put away. Very excited. So I have my cardstock pieces here that are going to go in between the layers. This is how I open up and store, or open up to use my markers right out of the bag, with the flap on the bottom that I would just fold under like this. So I like to have, I like to go in descending order, so I have to put them in backwards, basically, to set them up, to set up each of the rows. So the bottom row that's actually going to go in, according to the size chart, the very last row are the fluorescents. So I'm going to get my fluorescents in there. There's only 3, and I've already pre-planned everything all out where it's going to go. This is just the execution. And then I'm going to put paper in and then stack the next row right on top of it. There's going to be 4 markers in the next row, which is the last end of the flesh tones. The last 4 markers in the flesh tone. And then put another paper right on top. Then flesh tones. Here comes 2 and 3. Here comes the first flesh tone and the blender. Oops, I messed it up. And the blender color. Get my paper cardstock divider in there. Pop that right in. And what comes before that is the row with the black. So we've got black, and then I've got my ice grays on top. Couple more ice grays. Ice gray. Put my cardstock divider in there. And more ice gray. Oops. And last one. Last piece of cardstock. This is where it starts to get a little cramped, but it should be okay. just working my way backwards. And boom. Those are the last ones. So now it's keeping in the same order that their 2017 color chart. This is my 7th bag of Spectrum Noirs, the last little batch to get sorted. But this is the complete collection, or completes the collection of my Spectrum Noirs. And I won't show it on camera, but I'll get my label maker out and quickly whip up a couple of labels to stick to this bag that matches everything else. And it'll be perfect. I'm very happy. And what I was using was to hold these markers, which I like. Just one of those plastic zipper bags that new sheet sets come in. And they're very handy, and I'll hang on to this and I'll find another use for it, but it was just really irritating. And now everything is perfect, and I'm very, very happy. Okay, so real quick, that's it for the stuff that I had ordered. I showed in my last video, I started to work on a Christmas pocket letter and Happy Mail for a buddy. And that's actually, it's done, and I'm actually going to take it to the post office this afternoon. It's going to head out, but I wanted to show real quick, when I showed it off, the lollipop that I was making was unfinished, and I did finish it. I just wanted to show that off really quick because it's so cute and I'm in love with it, and I think I'm going to do all of my lollipops like this. I made a shaker for one side, and then I put a little reindeer on an action wobbler. I had never ever used an action wobbler before. I ordered some from Hallmark Scrapbook, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and I hadn't had a chance to use one, and I was thinking that it would just look silly or whatever. But I think it's so cute, and it's jiggly, and I just love it. So one half I have the shaker, the other half I have the wobbler, and I adore it. So I'm going to get this wrapped up in some tissue paper and slip that right in the top of the box, and that's going with me to the post office this afternoon, in about an hour and a half, actually. Something else that I've been working on, I'm working on my snowman and Thanksgiving flip books, which I'm still working on. I'd like to get the Thanksgiving flip book out next week. I think I need a little bit more time this weekend to work on it. It's coming together nicely. I've finished papering all of the pages. Right now I'm just in the decorating the pages phase. And I have a few ideas that I'm working on. I love the embossing. So I have a few ideas that I'm working on. I just need to actually pull it together. And I spent yesterday making quite a lot of die cuts and things. I'm going to do some scenes on the inside. And then, of course, I'm including a bunch of supplies. So one of the things that I'm doing for Thanksgiving and also for my snowman pocket letter, which isn't due to be shipped until at least a month, I think, not until mid-November. So it's just something that I'm working on here and there. I'm making a bunch of just dry embossed sentiments from my stash to include for crafty supplies. Just a bunch of, I've pulled every embossing folder that I had that was kind of wintry or Thanksgiving-y, and I'm just making a bunch of embossed things for my buddies. So that's one thing that I'm working on. I forgot that I had these, and I absolutely love them. We Are Memory Keepers embossing folders, and I forget exactly what they're called, this specific line, but these are the ones that have like the extra oomph of embossing. There's like another layer, it goes a little bit further. So I thought that I would include a few pages of that. I will have to warn you though, I have a Cuttlebug and it just barely, and you have to be so super precise getting it through. This just barely fits through the Cuttlebug. I accidentally cracked and bent this corner. It didn't go through just straight. So be really, really, really careful if you have a Cuttlebug and are using these. They're not cheap. Definitely not cheap at all. So you really want to take care of them. This is still, it still works just fine. As soon as I heard the crack, I pulled it right out. So I don't think it did any damage that would show through to the page that I'm trying to emboss, but still. Really, really expensive. Take very good care of them. Cuttlebug, not, just barely fits through the Cuttlebug. Barely. There's no clearance on either side. It has to be a straight shot through. I am looking to upgrade my die cut machines. Probably not anytime soon. I would like to go with something a little bit wider than the Cuttlebug. Not necessarily because of this, but just because there's other things that I want to do. I've been kind of looking tentatively at the Big Shot. I really like looking at. I don't know too much about because I've never seen one in real life, but the Crafter's Companion Gemini. I like that it's a larger surface for starters, but I like that it's entirely electronic. I've dislocated my shoulder, my right shoulder a couple of years ago, and it's not, I'm sorry, my left shoulder a couple of years ago, and my right shoulder, I think because I've been kind of babying that shoulder, that I've been taking it too hard on my right shoulder. So my right shoulder, which was never dislocated, actually hurts almost just as much as my left shoulder. So when I'm manually die cutting huge or embossing huge lots of things, it hurts. It hurts my shoulders for days afterwards. So I like the idea of something being completely electronic, and just having the machine take care of everything for you. It is quite pricey, and then there's always, we live way out in the middle of nowhere. If there's a storm, we're usually the first ones to lose power. We're the last ones to get it back. I hate the idea of being stranded without being able to craft at all. If you have no power, it's bad enough not having any internet or lights or computer or Cricut, much less, not even being able to sit down and do some die cutting or whatever. But I think that I might, if I do go that route, I'd probably keep the Cuttlebug just as a backup. So I'm not sure. Anyway. So that's kind of another thing that I've been working on. The other thing, that I did yesterday, which is really fun, I've been making just paper clips for my Thanksgiving Happy Mail paper clips to just put on paper. Hold some little gifts together, and then my friends can use these in their planners or whatnot afterwards. These are just die cuts that I've made on the Cricut, and I made a second set just mirroring the image. And I put some hot glue on one side and lots of hot glue on one side, stuck the paper clip in and stuck the opposite side die cut right on top of it and squeezed it together, and it dried, and it's pretty stable, pretty sturdy. I like it. So these are really cute. I might actually end up making more of these little turkeys because they're so cute. I might want to make a few for myself. So that's something that I was working on yesterday. And I think that's all that I have to show. I am waiting on my Dick Blick order, which is probably going to be here at some point this weekend, and I'm kind of anxious for it. It contains some Spectrum Noir refills for my markers, and I have one marker that's completely dry, and it's one of the markers that I've been using to color my Christmas cards that I'm working on. So I've been breathlessly awaiting that, which is exciting, and I'll show that off when it comes in. It's nothing else super exciting. I did finally place another Holler order today, and I did a small Scrapbook Pal order, but I don't really need anything, and so that's pretty much all that's going on for that. Very exciting. I love shopping, but I can't. If there's nothing to buy, then I just can't justify it. I do like window shopping, but sometimes it hurts window shopping, and I spend more than I need to, and I need to be really careful. The next couple of weeks, we need some propane. We're not out, but we're getting on the low side of propane, and we need to get that all set. And that's not our only source of heat, so a fill-up of propane will probably last us until Christmas. And then when Christmas hits here in New Hampshire, the real cold weather comes in January and February, so we'll probably need a couple more fill-ups to get us through the season, but generally we just need one to get through the rest of fall. So I need to be setting aside money for that. And also our rent just went up. So this is actually the first month, or for our November payment anyway, would be the first month that we will be paying the increased rent. So it's kind of no fair how the expenses never do anything but go up and up and up and up and up, and income never does. Anyway, so that's pretty much all that I have going now currently, other than trying to pull a few things together and making a post office run. And then this afternoon I'm going grocery shopping with my daughter. Very exciting stuff. Thanks again for your very kind attention, and I hope that you have a great week, or weekend this weekend, and a great week next week when my husband will be on vacation and I won't be able to film anything because the house is really, really small and he will be like right here, right in my face, which is really annoying. You know how it is. So anyway, take care, and thanks for your attention. Bye-bye.